Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you all. Happy Thursday to you. Say good morning in the chat. Say good morning in the chat and tell us where you're calling from. Tell us where you're tuning in from today. Tell us what you're tuning in. And I'm hearing there's a lot of snow across the country. So tell us what the weather's like too. Tell us what you got going on for the weather. I get this from my mom. My mom always, and I like the Weather Channel. Now Bryce and I get the weather all the time. Alexa, what's the weather today? Alexa is like nonstop over here, nonstop. Speaking of which, I got to make sure I turn the water off. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Just get the water going. Hold on.
Brock and I were talking earlier, and he had the timer set for 5 minutes for the watering the lawn. And he went after the timer was done. He said, "I never even turned the water on."
I need like a timer to remind myself to turn the water on. I was running around today, and so Christian and I, we have our talk on Thursday mornings at 8, and he's like, "How are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to start." But so then I did my timer and forgot to turn the water on for the time. It's like I need a timer for the timer to turn on the water. But we'll figure it out, Charles. We'll figure it out, Charles. What's up, John Root? So the question I got today is in the chat. Tell us where you're calling from. If you're like Dusty over there, he'd be all over the place. He'd have to write down like 17 different places because he's always in his car. But tell us where you're calling from and what the weather is. What the weather is, because I know it's supposed to snow in Pittsburgh, which means that the Pennsylvania area will get snow. It was snowing in, I believe, Detroit, Chicago area yesterday. And so I can only assume that it's moving across. Over here in Charlotte, it's a little cloudy, but it's supposed to be like 89 this weekend, like really warm. So tell us where you're calling from. Tell me what's going on with your weather. Chad Free's on here. Shout out to Chad Free yesterday. I'll give him some more love and some heart because he was put on the spot yesterday on peppering his questions and with him. So thank you, Chad, again um, on that. So good morning to you. Good morning, Colin. Good morning, John. Good morning, Millie. Good morning, Dom. What's up, Beth? Good morning to you all, Latrice. It's sunny in Orlando. Latrice, we don't even need to see it. We don't even need to hear it. We know that it's sunny in Orlando. Like, we don't need a weather report in Orlando. Always sunny, and Mickey Mouse is going strong, Jada. Mickey Mouse. Jada's actually coming up to visit me this weekend because we got a moving job for him. One of our sellers are moving. And so if you're ever looking for a moving guy, Jada is your man. He lives 2 hours away from me, but he moves people all across the country. So he's literally going to be 4 minutes from my house. So I'm going to go and see him, or he's going to come and see me. One of the two things are going to take place. So, well, good morning to everybody. My name's Coach Brock Zevan, life coach, business coach, real estate coach, and a DAD. And this week's been very fun. This week's been unique. And I got a text I was talking to Christian about 1 minute ago before the show. And Jay sends me a text. Did you get the message from Derek? He has no reception. So I was just like, okay, I guess I'll be speaking again this week. So here we are, everybody. And I was having a conversation, and in today's message, all that literally I just said, all right, God, what is it that we want to talk about? What is it that we are going to say today? And so it's going to be a combination of me telling you what's on top of my head, a topic that Christian just put into my head that will eventually go into our Power Players coaching that I do today, which will then lead into Christian and I are doing YouTube artificial intelligence coaching for real estate agents later today to help people engage. And the word that came into our play today that I'm going to talk about was trust. And I just lost the word. Trust and authentic. Trust and authentic. because I see more and more of it that we're losing that. And Christian said to me, there's a coaching program, a guy that's out there was talking about trust recession, a trust recession. And I am blessed. I do a lot of wholesale innovations. And right now we are probably dealing with about 35 to 40 listings a month with my team. And it's been a lot, I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm meeting a lot of agents, a lot of agents. And the biggest thing that I get from them, John, and the biggest thing that I'm hearing from them is trust. Now, to my money people over here, the Christians, the Chaz, the Johns, and everything else like that, the biggest thing that we typically hear in our real estate market is like when we ask people like, oh, in Rosario with your credit report, like people don't want to share money information. They don't want to share it because they don't want you. They don't trust you yet. They don't know why am I going to tell you some of my stuff? When I talk to agents or I talk to sellers and I ask them, I said a little bit about what they got going on, where they're at, or if you talk to buyers in the real estate market and you ask them like, okay, do you know your credit score? Do you know how much money you want to put down? People don't want to talk about their money. They don't want to talk about it. One is they don't trust me or they don't trust the person. Two, it's actually embarrassing. Most of the time they're embarrassed because of what their debt looks like. And they don't want to talk about it because really they don't have control over it, which is a behavior and a habit. But the word that I want to go back to is the trust. And I want to ask you all a question. How do you trust others? How do you trust others? I was having a conversation with Brielle, and at her age, she's 12. And so let me ask you all this question. I want you to really think about this in this trust lacking that we are in. Okay. So Brielle right now has my trust. It is her job to either keep the trust or do something that can lose the trust. Now, let me give you the other side of the coin. How many of you have heard this? Put a 7 in the chat if you heard this. They need to earn my trust. They need to earn it. They need to earn my trust before I do anything. Right? How many of us go into relationships, go into situations with our children, our significant others, or in the business world that they have our trust to begin with, and then we're going to see if they're going to be able to maintain it, or do they have to earn it? Kind of unique to think about that, right? In today's world that we live in with artificial intelligence, put a 6 in the chat. Put a 6 in the chat if you've been able to pick up whether it was authentic or artificial intelligence on the posts that you're seeing, videos that you're watching. How many of you are able to really see, just like it was in the real world, like back in the day? I don't like that. How many of you been in this position? I don't know what it is with that person, but I don't like them. I'm not too sure about them. How many? My dad used to say that to me. Brock, be careful. I'm not too sure about that person. Not too sure. I don't trust them yet. See, back then you were able to go and you would have a conversation like my dad, hell, still even today, he doesn't do it. Basically, he still has a flip phone. But in today's world, it's not just face to face anymore. It's not like a friend came over and my dad says, I don't know about that guy. I'm not too sure about him. How does he know that within 30 seconds of meeting somebody? How does he know that? Instinct? They got a question mark over their head, right? Remember, and now as parents, Brielle and Brielle's got a friend who's coming with us to spring break next week or in 2 weeks. And I'm dealing with that as a dad right now. I'm like, I don't know about her yet. And so what do? What do we do if we're not too sure if we trust somebody? Put it in the chat, all. Body language, Beth, yeah. What do we do if we don't trust somebody? We're not too sure. What do we start to do? What is it that we do? Shut down, keep our guard up, right? Drift away, pull back. So in the situation I'm in, I have to be a little bit reserved. I pull back. I'm like, I'm not too sure about this girl, Brielle. And we're gonna be with her for a week. Kimberly, that's where I go to, Kimberly. I start testing them, yeah. I start asking questions. Hence my book, Turning Scripts into Conversations, is all about asking questions because questions lead to answers, which lead me to be able to go down a path to understanding their true authentic self. Now, I want to ask you this question here. I'm going to go back to this, but how many of you met somebody, could be me for crying out loud, put myself out there. How many of you either met me or met somebody and you weren't too sure, but the more that you asked them questions and the more to talk to them, you're like, damn, this person's a really good person. I didn't realize it. And I didn't mean me in an arrogant way, but like, you're not too sure. Young people get it all the time in the real estate world. Like, I don't think this person can sell my house. I think they're too young. We stereotype people. The trust sometimes is so disoriented that there's no way that we can even break through it because of previous experiences. So as I'm asking Brielle some questions about this girl, I'm not too sure because I got to make a decision. Because how many of you don't want your vacation ruined or be like, man, I can't even enjoy myself because I don't know where this person is, what they're doing. I don't know, like, why are they saying this? Who's on their phone? Like, are they texting? Where do they go? It's 9 o'clock at night. Why are they still at the pier? Like, I don't want to have that on my vacation. I want to enjoy myself. But for those who have kids or grown up, it becomes different. And here it is it's like, I don't know if I trust this person. I'm not too sure. How many of you been in a partnership and you trusted somebody and it went awry? What took place? What happened? I thought I trusted this person. I thought I was in a relationship with this person. I was myself. In this case here, when I review and I look at my divorce, I mean, literally, we were happy. We were married. We had a child together. I mean, we were together for months beyond months. We lived together before we even got married. Like, there was trust there, right? And then eventually we got divorced. Seasons happen, change happens. In the case for me, my addiction took over and took over my life. I got to believe many of you would trust me here on the show to help you, to answer questions. I've been blessed having conversations with Colin lately. So the trust sometimes has to be earned. And the trust sometimes could be lost. And where the trust recession takes place in today's world, I think is very artificial. And because I talk to a lot of agents out there, guess what I hear them say? I thought you were spam. I thought you were spam. I didn't trust you. I thought you were spam. I didn't really believe you. How many of you are nervous about spam? How many of you, put a 3 in the chat, you're nervous about spam? I'm not, it's like, don't talk to strangers. Now it's like, don't click on strange things, right? Like, don't talk to strangers and don't click on strange things, right? We get a little nervous. Should I be clicking on this? Do I not click on this? Let's phone a friend. Hey, did you get this text? Do you think I should click on it? My mom does that to me. Brock, I got this text. Should I? It wasn't your number though, so I wasn't too sure to click on it. Yes, Mom, that's my artificial number. Yes, you can click on it. That's what we do. But it's hard sometimes because it's not my authentic number. It's not my authentic self. So today I did a post because Christian's been helping me and Jim Morris in my social media world because I was doing too much of artificial intelligence. I started to sound F-A-K-E. See, I'm really good at spelling because I had to do that for Vice Boy for a long period of time. But I started to become fake. I started to become a fake person. And people used to say, well, I just knew it was ChatGPT. And so I didn't really know if it was you or if I was talking. Then there was the twin. I had caption AI. Then there was a twin of me, which if you ever want to try it out, folks, it's pretty entertaining. We were talking about it the other day. We were making fun of me. We were making fun of my twin, making fun of my twin. But these things, Sydney, these things, Kat, these things are real life situations that are taking place, and we are not becoming our true authentic self. And so that is why when I heard trust recession from Christian this morning, I was like, you know what that is? That is actually a serious problem that we have in today's society. We pretend who we are. You're not seeing the real self. On Facebook, I call it fake book. My dad and I talk about this. It's fake book, Michelle. Because if we really wanted to air our problems and our situations, I would say 80% of people show a blissful position that they're in. They're on vacation. I was watching a post yesterday. Somebody was in like the Sandals Resort and they were just walking on the beach, enjoying life and everything else. And I said to myself, I said, I wonder what's really happening in the relationship. I wonder what's really going on. And so I want you all to ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. Would I trust myself? Am I true to myself? Am I being authentic to myself? See, when I was drinking, I was a functioning alcoholic. And I learned that I could do things throughout my day and staying even keel. Like it wasn't really Brock. It wasn't who you saw that you see today. I was always under the influence. And I knew when I could press the gas pedal, and I knew when I was getting a little too much. And when I would say too much, it'd be 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, damn, I'm already drunk. I better take it easy. Not stop, take it easy. There's a difference. And so I started to really look at the character of the person who I was, the true authentic version of me. And I was just like, that really wasn't me. That's how it happened in my divorce. I lost relationships, both in the bar world and the industry, because they didn't like me after I stopped drinking. And my close family and friends didn't like me because I was an a-hole. I wasn't my true authentic self. And so why I bring this up when it triggered to me when Christian said trust recessional, I said to myself, am I being fake again? Am I trying to be an imposter? Am I trying to pretend that I'm somebody that I'm not? If you don't like my English grammar, I apologize. But I'd rather give you my true self, just like I posted today about plantar fasciitis. I really had it. It really was a goal to be able to run in 3 months. And I was so excited yesterday to do it. And to be honest with you, I was scared out of my mind to run. And you might find that silly. But how many of you are scared to go back to do something that you used to do? Right, Rosario Spanglish. But I was nervous to run because I didn't want to re-hurt it again. I didn't want to go through the pain again. It was miserable every morning. If anybody had plantar fasciitis, put a 1 in the chat. I think somebody said to me on here, oh, Christy said she has it right now. Put a 1 in the chat if you had plantar fasciitis. It's not fun, especially if you're so used to being active and you're constantly doing things. Like it's like as soon as your foot hits the ground, it's like, I'm still here. Let me remind you. Like, you son of a. But I want to go back to being authentic. And today's message is really being the true person you are, which then comes into this play. Are you happy in your own skin? Are you happy where you are? And see, I'm trying to form a question, but I'm just going to share the question. You don't have to put anything in the chat. Statistically, where's Chad on statistics? Majority of us are not happy where we are. I could lose weight. I could be thinner. I could be taller. I could be faster. I could have more money in my bank account. I could work harder. I could work less. I can go on more vacations. I can pay attention to my kids more. I can have a better relationship. Like we in society are never happy with our true authentic self. So we try to find different ways, and artificial intelligence is now entered into our society, and we try to use different artificial ways to be able to present our life or the dream of the life that we want to become. And so we go in this vicious circle, and then we get into this mode, and then we either get depressed, we go into victimhood, and instead of really truly working on ourselves. Our job to work on ourselves all is an inside job. Is an inside job. How many of you heard in the print when I was a principal or assistant principal, I would hear this, like, I'm like, oh, who do you think's could be the next principal? How many of you heard of this? This is big in corporations. Nobody's going to get it. It's an inside job. It's an inside job. It's an inside job. Somebody's going to get it in the inside, right? We hear about this inside job, but yet we don't do ourselves an inside job. And so we go to the artificial land and we pull out something from there. And we just use that to replace ourselves, whatever it might be. So I want to say this, and then I'll open it up. A trust recession starts with us inside of ourselves of being authentic to ourselves. Do we trust ourselves? The integrity and the character of the person that's inside. If you say you're going to do something, do you do it? Do people around you automatically trust you because of the person you are? The person you want to become? That's where John Maxwell talks about the law of attraction. The law of attraction takes place where people reach out to me. Hey, I'd like to talk to you. Hey, I'm thinking about your coaching program. Hey, I want to be on your team. That doesn't happen. It didn't happen when I was drinking. It didn't happen when I was a functioning alcoholic. It happens today. I get phone calls and text messages. Why? Because I started to work on my inside. And I can tell you this, you're going to see more authentic posts from me because I don't want to be a fake. I don't want to be a fake book. I want to have character. I want my kids to know who I am as a real person. And at some point, I've had to have a conversation that Brielle's getting older. I got to talk to her about drinking. I'm not really looking forward to it. I mean, she knows, but she doesn't know. And as a dad, I get a little nervous about it. Like, what's she going to think? How's she going to feel? You know, at some point, her friends are going to be like, you know, my dad's an alcoholic, so he can't drink. I think about all this weird stuff because that's life. That's truly authentic life. Shit happens. And do you fake it? Where's Chad? Do you fake it just to make it? Or do you become real? Do you become true? Do you become the person that God wants you to become? The gift that you had. Do you dust it off the shelf, pull it out, and say, you know what? From today on, I'm going to be my true authentic self, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm tired of faking it. And if you're not the person you want to become, then I need you to go inside yourselves and start to work on yourself. It's an inside job. It's nobody else's job. So this trust recession starts with us because we can only control us. Artificial intelligence is going to continue to grow. So does anybody have anything they would like to say? I got about 3 minutes here. If anybody wants to come in and make a comment or something like that, by all means, I'm gonna open up the floor here. I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'm gonna shut my mouth. Anybody have anything they'd like to add, say, share, or anything? I don't mind awkward moments, all. I do not mind awkward moments. I enjoy quiet, awkward moments. Colin.
Well, this is off topic, Brock, but I wanted to publicly thank you, for you and Chad, but everyone in the group. This has not been an easy week. And Charlie got me up this morning and we went outside, and I always trust his judgment. So he got me up early this morning for a reason, so I could be in here. So thank you, brother. I appreciate you and I love you, and I really appreciate what you've done from this week. So thank you.
Love you too, man. I appreciate you being on here and our good old dogs. We trust our dogs. We trust our doggies. Thank you, Colin. God bless you, man. Thanks for being on here this morning. Anybody have anything else? Christian's went off mute. What do you got, Christian?
I'm off mute, guys. Yeah, great topic. Just kind of came up out of nowhere this morning on our talk, and I feel this so much. What I was telling Brock when we brought this up was, I'm just like scrolling Facebook. I don't really go on Instagram anymore, but scrolling Facebook, I'm like AI, and it's becoming so obvious now. And I believe trust recession was such a great term that was brought up during this coaching session I was on. I think that being able to be authentic and build trust is going to be the new currency as we shift into this new age in our economy, right? We go through different ages, the industrial revolution, the information age, the tech age, right? The new one is going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be the trust economy. And as we move more and more towards computers, automation, AI, people are going to more and more, and we've already seen this with social media, people are more and more going to be longing for that connection, that human connection. And I think if you guys can build that in your business and in your personal life, it's going to serve you very well. Not just as like a business, from a business perspective, but like our souls, right? Like we need that as humans. We need that connection. And just great talk today. I think it's so important. And if you guys, like Brock mentioned, we're doing a class today on video for real estate agents. So we'll be talking about that specifically and why video is such a powerful tool to build trust with your audience. So that being said, that's what I've got to say today.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Whoever needed to hear this message today, I leave with this. No joke. God put that on my heart. I just heard trust recession from Christian 3 minutes before the show started. And about 1 minute before the show started, Jay sent me a message saying Derek doesn't have reception. So that message was for somebody on here in reference to trust, being authentic, and looking inside yourselves to seeing the person you are and the person that God wants you to become. And so I challenge you, and I look at you straight in the eyes, I stare at this camera. Become the version that God wants you to become. It's not too late. I don't care how old you are on here. It's never too late. Because if it's too late, you wouldn't be here with us. You all have an opportunity today to grow in some capacity, in some way, and to be blessed to be on here today. So with that, God bless you all. Thank you so much for being on here. Hopefully I see you at 10 o'clock at our Power Players that we have. That is free for everybody. And then we have the 11 o'clock YouTube video. For those of you that are on my team, you get access to it for free. For those of you who are interested, it is only $35, but I can assure you, Christian has more stuff in there than you possibly can imagine. and he is very detailed, and I'm like the little color behind it. So God bless you all. Thank you guys for being on here. Guess what? I'll be back again tomorrow for Figure It Out Friday at 8:15 Eastern time. God bless you all. Thank you guys for being on here. Appreciate you. See ya.